So, fortunately, we begin the Akhyata Prakranam.
Uh,
Tatra prayo vartamana kale tibadayo ष्टादशाच्युतनामानः. The 18 pratyas beginning with tip are generally applied after a dhatu in the present tense, Vartaman Kale, and they are called Achyutas. Okay. The pratyas are, Achyuta pratyas are as follows. So in Parapada, so in all the tenses, we'll have two parts, two divisions, Parapada and Atmapada. What they are will be discussed later. So just for the timing, two categories, Parapada, Atmapada. Parapada, 9 pratyas, and in Atmapada, 9 pratyas. So we have columns, 3 columns and 3 rows. So this is the pattern.
mhm.
This is column, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Again, columns and rows. So this is this column represents ekvachana. The second one represents dvivachana. The third one represents bahuvachana, like in the nama shabda. And the first row represents prathama purusha, which means the third person, not like the English one. Madhyama purusha, the second person, and uttama purusha, the first person, one who is speaking. So tip tas anti, again the same thing here. The letters in these brackets, they are anubandhas. It anubandhascha. Eti gacchati na tishtati iti it anubandhascha. So finally, it's deleted, like we had in Sumauja Samoshas ityadi. Tiptas ante sipthastha mipvasmas te ate ante se athe dve e vahe mahe. Okay. Others call these Vartamana, some call them Lat. Lat. So you need to memorize everything here. The sutra, first of all, the 18 pratyas, and mainly the Paninian term for each one. So this is Lat.
This Katantra term we are not going to use anywhere, right? This Vartamana or
No, because mainly we get to see these ones. How do you know this is from Katantra, by the way?
here there in the Amrita last line.
I think
The word Anne, okay, refers to the followers of Katantra and others, while the word AK refers to Panini and other Panini, okay. So, yeah. Vidhi Sambhavanado Yadadayo Vidhi Namanaha. The 18 pratyas beginning with Yat, Yadadaya, are applied after a dhatu when Vidhi, Sambhavana, and so on are understood, and they are called Vidhi. Um, so yat yatam use yas yatam yata yam yava yama ita yatam iran ithas yatam idvam iya ivahi imahi. Somehow I'm just feeling so transcendental studying and teaching dhatu. Uh, so others call these saptami, some call them vidhiling. Vidhi sambhavana and so on. The word Vidhi refers to a Brahma who is so named because he creates with a te. Vidhi means making known that which was unknown and command. It will be described in Vritti, I think it says. It will come later. Vidhi means making known that which was unknown and command. In Sanskrit, the maxim goes like kartavyatvenopodesha vidhi. So it will come ahead. What is vidhi? And sambhavna means kriya yogyata nishchayah, certainty about a person's ability to perform the action. Yeah. The word adi refers to nimantrana, amantrana, adhishti, samprashna, pratham, prarthaneshu. So all these will come in karaka basically. Uh, More meanings about each of the tenses. So, so basically, karakas will deal with both the meanings of all the vibhaktis, the karakas, and it will also deal with the meanings of all these tenses. So the next chapter deals in detail with that. The word adi also refers to hetu tat phalayoh muhurtasya upari praishadishu arha shaktyoh. The sutra dealing with the usage of the vidhi pratyas when sambhavana is understood is, so these are all further topics. For the timing, just remember that this is vidhi. Panini say it as vidhiling. This is the most easy one I could remember. The Paninian term, vidhiling and vidhi, almost same. And the pratyas are to be memorized. So till now we have got 36 pratyas. Tipta santi siddhasta mipvasmas te ate ante se ate dve eva himahe yat yatam yus yas yatam yata yam yava yama ita yatam iran ithas yatham idvam iya ivahi imahi. 36 of them. Ashi preranaadau tuvadayo vidhatra namanah. The 18 pratyas beginning with tup are applied after a dhatu when ashish, which means wish, blessing, prerana, command, and so on are understood, and they are called vidhata. So the pratyas are tuptamantu, hitamta, anipan, avap, amap, tam, atam, antam, swa, atham, dhvam, aip, avahip, amahip. Some call them lot, others call this panchami, lot. Lot lakara, lit lakara, lat lakara, lakara. Why do they say lakara? Anyone? Lakara.
I don't know.
That is vibhakti. The noun is vibhakti. This one is lakara. That's how I know.
What is that? Okay. Yeah, so vidhata. Anadyatana bhute divadayo bhuteshwar namanah. The 18 pratyas beginning with dip are applied after dhatu in the past tense, which is not of the same day. So anadyatana. Adya means today. Na adya means not today. Okay, adya means today, and na adya means not today, and bhute means past. So na adya iti anadya. I had mentioned that when na comes with any word which begins with the sarveshwara, so that na becomes an. Did I tell you before?
Yes.
I think I told. So na adyatan becomes anadyatana. So the 18 pratyas beginning with dip, diptam an, siptam ta, pam vama, ta atamanta, thas atham dhvam, I vahi mahi. They are used in past tense, which is not of the same day, and they are called bhuteshwara. Some call them lang. Lang.
Prabhu, sorry, I was
Do,
talking. I was telling that the vibhakti previous noun forms are called. They call it vibhakti, and this one is lakaras. I think in Jiva Goswami calls both of them as vibhaktis, right? That's what we
yes.
I
Vishnu Bhakti Siddham Vishnu Padam.
right.
think we talked about this before, isn't it? That this idea of the nouns being vibhaktis is from Siddhanta Kaumudi, not necessarily from Panini.
I see. Okay.
So the sutra Prakriti Pratyaya Para. Uh, so in the Vritti there, Jiva Goswami had given four kinds of vibhaktis, the pratyas, which one of them is the Akhyata
Yeah.
pratyas. So one is that, and then Vishnu Bhakti Siddham Vishnu Padam. So Atha Nama Jani Vishnu Padani, that was the beginning of Shabda Prakaran. And this chapter is Atha, what is that?
Dhatu,
Akhyata Jani?
Dhatu Jani, right?
It's,
Dhatu Jani Vishnu Padani.
yeah.
So here we get Vishnu Padas, the final Pada forms, declined forms, where we combine the Vishnu Bhaktis, Akhyat of course, Pratyas with the Prakriti, the original entity. So like that,
Mm.
with Bhaktis. Even in Adhatu Vishnu Bhakti Ka Marthvan Nama, even there I think, in the Vritti, Jiva Goswami is talking of this.
Well, even right there. Adhatu
Bhu-
Vishnu Bhakti come. Vishnu Bhakti.
Yeah,
Not Adhatu.
yeah, Vishnu Bhakti. So yeah, like that. Bhute Divadayo Bhutesh Namanah. The same 18 pratyas, beginning with Dip, which were there in the Bhuteshwara, the previous rule sutra, are applied after dhatu in the past tense, and they are called Bhutesha. So we have two things here. One is Bhuteshwara, which is Anadyatana Bhute, and second is Bhutesha. The pratyas are same for both, but the sense is little different. The last one was Anadyatana Bhuta, and this is just past tense. So Amrita explains, since there is no particular restriction here, the Bhutesha pratyas are used both in Adyatana Bhuta and Anadyatana Bhuta, both for today, anything which had happened before, and uh, before the before today, like yesterday and then in the
Will there
past.
be some separate rules as to how these are applied depending on whether it's anadyatana or adyatana? So the form, the
I
final.
mean, it depends on the person who is saying something. Like if I say I ate chapati today, that's Adyatana Bhuta.
But I'm saying, will there be a different final form depending on if
Yeah, form. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
so
sorry. Forms will be different. That's how.
there will be some
Uh,
operations in between?
yes, yes, yes.
Okay, I
The,
was
f-
just wondering
the
why do both exist if they're the same?
so the forms will be different, and instead, the pattern will go like this in all the dhatus. Mostly, like we have 10 tenses here,
Hmm.
and this Bhutesha is the fifth one. There are five more to go. So till Bhuteshwara, like Achyuta, then we had Vidhi, then we had Vidhata, Vidhatri,
Uh-huh.
and now the fourth one was Bhuteshwar.
Yeah.
So in general, the forms they are similar until Bhuteshwara.
Well, so this Bhuteshwar is like agachchat. He went. If I say
Um,
agachchat, one.
Yeah.
yeah,
Will
Agachat, okay, Agachat.
Okay, and then this other one is one of the six that are different. What the hell's the
Yeah, so and then from Bhutesha onwards, the life becomes really difficult.
Mhm.
oh, really? I see.
Yeah,
Or-
actually.
I can't remember the term in Paninian grammar they use. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
So till Bhuteshwara, it's really fun declining any dhatu because they are very simple. It mostly they follow one or two sutras and you solve till Bhuteshwaras. I mean 36, 36, 72 forms. But when it comes to Bhutesha and then Adhokshaja, especially Bhutesha is very difficult. Many
Oh,
rules for Bhutesha, but
yeah.
still it's a fun and brainstorming.
So I just looked it up in dictionary. So for gam dhatu, it is aji gamat lung aji gamat
So
agachat
Dvitvam there.
This is and you have the lung, which is the regular one.
No, 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 no. Ajigamat, I think, is not
It is saying lung here.
Ajigamat. Really?
Ajigamat or agamat or agan. It gives three options.
1 minute. Ajigamat is something else, I think.
Maybe that's
We have
causative. It
They say
might,
it was a table.
might be the causative.
no. The form is right, but okay. Here it is. So this is Adhokshajas.
Yeah.
This is Balkalki. This is the Bhavishyat Linga. This is Yat Yatam use.
Yeah. That's passive also, huh?
Yat Yastam Yastam Yastam.
This next one is
Oh,
Bhuteshwar.
this will come ahead. This is Agachat. Yeah, this is Bhuteshwara
Yeah.
and this is Bhutesha.
Agamat.
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 This is Bhutesha Prabhu.
I see.
This is Tuptamantu, Vidhata, Vidhatre.
I think this Ajigamat, that sounds like it's either it's some niche pratyaya.
Yeah, we add some Sanantas there.
Yeah.
I can show you. This is not. I mean, my table shows multiple options. I mean, how you cannot share? Huh? I see.
1 minute.
Be able to.
Now try.
Timer set for 1 minute.
Sure.
No, I'm not able to share. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Maybe no.
No, I can share. See this one? There? These three are G Gamat, Agamat, Aganna. So this is just a lung. If you look at it, this is actually a pratyayanta dhatu. There is no pratyaya attached to it. This the previous one, however, you have this what is that? Niche pratyaya. Here it is. So there in their lung is different. Their lung is even not there. But with the sun pratyaya that is there, and then you have this one. Apratyayanta, if you come there, there the lung it comes, there you have three options. G, Gamat, Agamat.
Anyway, I have no idea.
The form is right, but Krishna, we'll come and we'll see when we'll study it. So, okay, so these were Bhuteshas, and okay, that's all. I can go on, but it's about memorization again.
That's
So,
So how quickly will he just go through and build each one of these tables, and then give exceptions? That's how it's going to work in this order: Achyuta, Vidhi, Vidhatri, Videsha.
yeah, just Achyuta, Vidhi, Vidhatre, Bhuteshwara, Bhutesha, then just memorize the pratyas for each. And
now, yeah, that's what that's the answer. But so then will he introduce the exceptions? Like, will he give us the Achyuta and then all the exceptions for Achyuta in the Vadigana? Or will, like, yeah, anyway, I guess I can just look ahead to look at that and see. I'm just curious as to how this is gonna go.
exceptions like?
Well, maybe not exceptions, but who is done in a particular way because it's ending in a long vowel.
Ooh.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's ending in u, but then you have, I know it changes depending on the ending of the dhatu, right? In some of the ganas, there are some different things are done.
No, means we'll have agamas, the pratyas. So then things change and things get modified.
Yeah.
So the operations will do first. We wind up or finish up with the memorization of pratyas. So once we are done, then we'll quickly start actually. And so I think we'll stop here, and we have 72 pratyas to be memorized. Yeah. So please memorize, and tomorrow we'll do the next 5.
You said a 180 Pratiyas total, right?
Yeah, we did half only.
Okay.
10
No.
times 18.
And Bhuteshwara, Bhuteshwar, they are same.
Oh, so it's
Okay, so now you can minus 18 out of 180 because Bhuteshwar and Bhutesh, they are same.
162.
So 162.
That's not
So
really.
so yeah, then so please memorize, and this should be memorized like smooches, like on the tip. Tiptasanti siptasta mimvasmaste ate ante se ate dve eva he mahe yate yatam yus yas yatam yata yam yavayam itam ita yatam iran ithas yatam idham iya ivai imai tuptamantu hitam ta anipavap amap ta atam ta, right? Tam atamantam so atam dhvam aip avahip apmahi diptaman siptam ta vipam vama ta atamanta thas atham dhvam iya ivahi imai, something like that. Anyhow, so wahi mahi, wahi mahi. So yes, so please memorize, and okay. So some Anvaya today. Shloka. We did this also. I think 24th. Yes. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 3, Text 24. ततः कलौ संप्रवृत्ते सति सप्तमी. What is sampravritta?
in the
By any
beginning
chance?
when it's
Yeah.
started.
So, pravritte shastra sampate. What does that mean in Gita?
When the battle began.
No, not actually. Pravritte shastra sampate dhanuruddamya pandava.
Isn't it
Yeah,
when the
we
battle
can.
started, kind of, or initiated?
When everyone took up the weapons to
Mhm.
begin shooting, something like that. So, ततः कलौ संप्रवृत्ते सम्मोहाय सुरद्विषाम्.
Pravarte is not proceeding. That is Pravarte, va?
No, it started.
Just the Ganga is flowing. Pravarte. That's not correct.
That's a verb. This is a participle. Pravrita, pravartate is a verb. Huh?
Yeah, that is a verb.
Pravrita is literally initiated, started.
So tataha kalau sampravritte, in the beginning of Kali Yuga, suradvisham sammohaya. Okay, we'll do the Anvaya anyhow. Buddho namnan janah sutah कीकटेषु भविष्यति. Okay, भविष्यति. ततः तदनन्तरं कलौ संप्रवृत्ते कलिकाले सम्यक् उपस्थिते. It means because they are speaking before, right? So kalau sampravitta is like in future tense for them, is it?
Or it could be referring to a previous Kali Yuga, because they.
No, because bhavishyati is bhavishyat kal,
Yeah,
future tense.
you're right.
They are in Kali Yuga, right? Because Parikshit Maharaj was even there. Kali Yuga started.
Yeah, so it's the very beginning. So it's like when Kali Yuga starts rolling down.
So they're saying he appeared and he will do this.
No, he will appear. Kikateshu bhavishyati.
That makes sense, Prabhu, because he didn't appear yet, right? Now.
Yeah, Buddha bhavishyati. He will.
That's interesting.
So
Buddha, I see. I thought Kalki Avatara. Okay,
Yeah.
this is Buddha.
this is Buddha Avatara. So तदनन्तरं कलौ सम्प्रवृत्ते कली काले सम्यग् उपस्थिते. When Kali Kal has arrived, samyag would be
Nicely.
properly, in a nice way, properly. When Kali Yuga is showing off its full Virata Rupa, so to say.
Yeah.
So Suradvisham Dev Dveshinam Adharmikanam Sammohaya, to bewilder the those irreligious people who are who will be envious of the saintly people, of the gods, the demigods. Kikateshu Gaya Pradesheshu, in the place known as Gaya, Namna Buddha, Buddha iti Namna Vikhyatah. So by the name Buddha, Anjana Sutta, the son of Anjana Garbhajatah. So Lord will appear as Buddha from the womb of Anjana, and Bhavishyati will be born. Avatar Rupena Avir Bhavishyati iti artha. So again, future tense. So he will take avatar, incarnate himself. Athasau,
Abir Baba is indicating is a
Descent, right?
what is that?
Descent.
No, but
yes,
He will come
is-
down.
Appearance.
he's a jiva injected with the power of the Lord, right?
No.
Buddha is a what is that avatar name? What? Satyavasha.
No, he's not Shaktivish, is he?
Yeah, Laghu Bhagavatam says, right?
No, I don't think so. Maybe. I don't remember that. I remember hearing that he's the Lord, but we just don't listen to him because he speaks against the Shastra. But now that he's a Jiva in power,
personally, I also heard Buddha is Shaktyavisha avatar.
I could be wrong.
But anyhow, in this case, it is just saying avatar rupena avir bhavishyati iti artha. So it's not specifically mentioning which avatar. It's just mentioning avatara, and
Yeah.
avir bhavishyati, he will incarnate. So he will incarnate in that person as the Shakti, or if it is Shaktyavish avatars. So whatever the procedure is for Shaktya, for a person to be Shaktyavish avatar, that will happen.
Oh, so there is a sorry, bro. There is a footnote in Laghu Bhagavatam which says Buddha is not mentioned in the list of Avesha avatars or the list of Prabhava and Vaibhava avatars. However, it is safe to assume he is an Avesha form since the list of Avesha forms mentioned here is not limited to the list given. He also appears in Kali Yuga when the Lord does not appear directly. So usually Avesha avatars only appear in Kali Yuga.
So he should be accepted as Avesha avatara.
Yeah, that's what the footnote says.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's not. Yeah, maybe. That's a footnote though, and it doesn't have a quote for either one.
But the Lord is called Tri Yuga, right? Because he appears in.
Yeah. What about Kalki?
He's also Satya Vishwata.
Hmm.
I suppose that is there in the Kalki Avatar is a Satya Vishwata directly given there in the.
Hmm. Yeah, it could be. It's but as even the footnote said, it's we have to draw a conclusion. It's not. There's no clear statement.
So here it says this one Kalki. Uh, so here it says that in the not in the footnote, the commentary of Baldev Vidyabhushan, the Lord empowers the Kumaras with a portion of Jnana, Narada with a portion of Bhakti, and Prithu, Parashurama, and Kalki with a portion of his power.
Yeah. So
So
for
that,
Kalki, we have a direct statement.
Okay. Athasau yuga sandhyayam dasyu prayeshu rajsu janita vishnu yashaso. नामना कल्किर्जगत्पतिः अथ युगसन्ध्यायां thereafter kalehe ante, at the end of Kali Yuga. Yuga Sandhya means when Kali Yuga is about to finish and the next Satyuga start to begin. Rajsu dasyu prayeshu nripatishu adharmachareshu asatsu. When the kings have mostly become dasyu, thieves, literally, adharmachari, uh, having characters, having irreligious characters, asat, of bad conduct. Asau jagatpatihi Bhagavan नामना कल्किः कल्कि इति नामना ख्यातः विष्णु यशसः तन्नामक ब्राह्मणात् सकाशात् जनिता जनिष्यते. So the Lord will appear from a Brahmana whose name will be Vishnu Yasha, and his name will be Kalki. And yes.
So one question about this names and all. Is it like exact name or is it like because, for example, the Suniti, Suruchi, and all right.
Mhm.
So it defines the character of them. Suruchi.
But
So
don't
do they
all
have
names do that in
do
a
they
Vedic context? There are no
do,
senseless names.
my question is, do they have like Suniti and Suruchi? So do they have different names then?
Well, I
No.
mean, they also have a name according to their parents' names. So they have two other names depending on their father's name and their mother's name, because that's how it works in Sanskrit, right? So we have three names given. If you know their parents' name, then you know, like Prita, Partha.
Okay, okay, but like that we can have many names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Arjuna is also called Krishna because he's dark like Krishna.
So is it like name is not fixed or they have hundreds of modern day we have the fixed name, like most of the time you'll be called by only one name, right? So I'm just asking those ways.
means like in earlier times names were given according to one's qualities, by seeing the horoscope and all.
Yeah, there's
Uh,
that one particular name that the astrologer
so
actually gives.
So each time, first of all, initially when a child is born, the astrologer will come and he would see the qualities and he would say out, okay, this name, this name, this name. Like Krishna and Balram, when their Namkarana were happening. So the Gargacharya, Gargamuni,
Hmm.
he came and he was like, okay, for Balram, he gave, I think, three names, right? Sankarshana, Rama, and Bala.
Yeah.
He gave three names altogether. Now, it doesn't just mean that enough. Now, after even when Balram exhibited more qualities, he got many more names,
Hmm.
Haladhara and whatever. So, similarly with Krishna.
So
So, just
for
like in Harinamamrit Vyakran, we have Sangya Prakaranam in the beginning, Atha Namkarana Sangya. But it doesn't mean that Sangya Sutra won't appear anymore. They still appear. So
so
something like that.
Bhagavatam mentions that may not be the primary name, you're saying?
Okay.
Because see, Hiranyakashipu is there. It means golden bed.
Mhm.
Who will name their son as golden bed? Like you
Mhm.
attached to golden bed. So that's what my question is.
I mean,
But unless we know their secondary names or others' names, how can we say that they have other names or not? So
That's what my question is. Like for example, even somebody has got a very bad son, they will not
mhm.
name the person as a demon or something like that, right?
well, if the astrologer tells you because you're following Vedic culture, if they tell you have to name him this, then
That's what I'm asking. I mean, do they name like that because he's a demon? Let me call him a demon or something.
No, but for them it is a topic of high esteem.
No, for the
That's
demon, I'm just giving. Say, let's say evil, not demon. Demon is evil
yeah,
person.
for Rakshasas, if they have some, wild name, then maybe they know they're Rakshasas, they're following, what is it? Hiranyakashipu says this. He says to his family that don't worry, Hiranyaksha followed Asura Dharma, and so his destination will be good. So even them, they're like, we have this is what we do. This is our place in the
Even
overall system.
when Brahmaji requested Prahlad Maharaj to, come forward and pacify Narsinga Dev. So, if you remember that shloka, Prahlad Maharaj says that I am born in Ugra Jati.
Yeah, yeah. So
Very clear.
that is understandable, Ugra Jati. But would they name the son as like such a evil name or something like that?
Looks like.
Yeah, I think, and especially if the astrologer says you have to name him like this, because then there will be repercussions for the child if they don't give him that name.
Like the son of Chitra, Ketu Maharaj, Shoka Harsha.
Yeah,
Harsha Shoka.
yeah.
Now, who would like in the present day, who would
Okay.
name his son as hot and cold, something like that?
Distress.
Happiness and distress.
But he accepted the name because which Muni? It wasn't Narada Muni, it was Angira Muni.
Angira,
Yeah,
Rishi.
so Angira Muni said this will be his name. And so
He accepted.
Chitriketu said, okay, that will be his name. I guess he'll disappoint me at some point later in life, but now I'm happy. I think the confusion here also comes from the fact that we're told the demigods' names are posts. And then, those aren't their actual names, but I don't think we can extrapolate that to anybody else where we're actually given their name, so to speak.
I see. I somewhere read in Bhagavatam only that when it says that this Bhagavatam will be spoken by these persons, he was giving a different name. I have to find the verse before actually telling that. Let me find the verse and post it in the group. What I
Okay, so text 26. Avatara Yasankheya Hare Satvanidhe Nidher Dvija Yatha Vidasinah. What is this? Yatha Vidasinah. Kulya Sarasah Su Sahasrashah. Hey Dvija. I think this is Sutta Goswami speaking to. Is it Sutta? Yeah, Sutta Goswami speaking to Shaunaka Rishis. Hey Dvija, or twice borns. Avidasinah upakshaya shunyat sarasah sarovarat tat sakashat upakshaya shunyat. Upakshaya.
Upakshaya.
without any distraction, huh?
What is Abhidasi? Not drying up. So upakshaya shunyat sarasah sarovarat tat sakashat yatha sahasrashah asankhyeya kulya alpa pravaha. Kulya is, I think, small rivers, canals. So just like there are unlimited numbers of small rivers flowing near or from a sarovara which never dries up, because it means this sarovar acts as the source.
Yeah.
And from it flows unlimited alpa. Alpa means the small rivers, pravaha, small streams basically. Sihu. He tatha hi similarly sattva nidhe sattva ambudhe harehe virat rupinah bhagavatah asankhya sankhyarita avatara. Similarly, Lord Shri Hari, who is the abode of goodness, sattva ambudhi, abode of goodness, ocean of goodness. Such Virat Rupi, such Bhagwan who possesses a universal form, he has got Sankhyatita, unlimited avatars, incarnations. So just
Shakasha from near, huh? What is that Shakasha?
here it's proximity
I see.
from from a sarovara. Okay. ऋषयो मनवो देवा मनुपुत्रा महौजसः कलाः सर्वे हरेरेव स प्रजापतयः स्मृताः स प्रजापतयः प्रजापतिभिः सहिता along with the प्रजापति's progenitors ऋषयस् मुनिवृन्दाः मनवः the manus देवाः the demigods महौजस अति पराक्रान्तः अति parakranta. Parakranta means those
Unconquerable, Parakranta.
it says valorous, strong, energetic, and when
Extremely
we
strong.
add so ati parakranta would be super strong,
Yeah.
super energetic.
Goes with Mahaudasa.
Yeah, Mahaujasa, Ojas. Manuputraha, the sons of Manu, Manavaha, cha, humans. Sarve eva, all of them are Harehe Kalaha Smritaha, Ansha Sarupa Prakritita. They are all Ansha Sarupas of Lord Shri Hari. Yes, Ansha Sarupa. Okay. If we categorize, then I think it's Vibhinna Ansha, isn't it? The Jivas.
You mean
Yeah.
the Vibhutis? Vibhutis.
What is
Yeah,
that?
this is talking about the Vibhutis.
Vibhutis.
That's what the
Oh.
commentators say, that he gave the avatars and now these are descriptions of the Vibhutis.
But it also includes Manava.
Yeah, they're the Vibhutis of the Lord. But you're right also, they're Vibhinamsha because they're Jivas.
Mm-hmm.
So the Swamsha, the avatars are Swamsha, and then these are Vibhinamshas.
Oh, very nice verse. Next one.
This is Ete Changsha. We arrived here. How many shlokas in this chapter?
43.
43. Okay, we'll discuss this shloka tomorrow in detail. I don't want to cut short here.
Yeah.
Also, you can explain, because this is the we just studied about the sutra which pervades everything, right? What is that?
We'll also try to discuss that avimrishta vidyangsha dosha here. Just
Yeah.
just to remind ourselves, and we'll try to study from CC. I think third or fourth chapter.
I was
And-
thinking about this. I remember we brought this up and we came to this point about the Sri Sampradaya, then saying that what this means is that that Krishna is just like Narayan. This idea that he's Swayam Bhagavan. And then the natural answer we have in our Sampradaya is, well, then why was Lakshmi Devi not happy to stay with Narayan? Why did she want to go be with Krishna? This is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says to Venkata Bhatt.
Right.
So that, and then we can quote the Bhagavatam that the Nagapatnis are saying this, that actually there's something in Krishna that isn't there in Narayan, because Lakshmi Devi
Narayan.
can't even attain it. So that's our answer for that. And I think Kaviraj Goswami brings that there. Isn't that why he tells the story with Venkata Bhatt in the Adi Leela? Because he tells it early.
Yeah, even in third chapter also, finally, I think he also, I mean, his Purva Paksha seems to be the Sri Vaishnavas, because yeah, in the third chapter at least. And then finally he says, that is okay. Even great devotees say we should accept it. Narayana is also fine. Krishna is also fine. All of them are the same in one
Well, he
sense.
says that he agrees that most times Krishna is an Amsha of Narayan, but in this particular Yuga cycle, that he's Swayam Bhagavan. That's what he's saying.
At that point, I have a question, because many people say that on other Dwapara Yugas Krishna appear, but I don't find any statement saying like that. I always
Kaviraj Goswami says like that in Chaitanya Charitamrita.
no, he did not say like that, right?
I believe so. Yeah, we can look.
Yeah, if we can find that, that will be because from Laghu Bhagavatam he says only once he appears Krishna. Doesn't say that in other places he appear like that.
No, no, he appears always in that. That's in Gargamuni's saying that he comes as white, black, red, and yellow. He
Right.
always appears as black. So Krishna is always there. The Krishna avatar is there, but it's not Swayam Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Most times it's an Amsha. But that's here. We hear that he comes. Krishna and Balaram come, but it's not the same Krishna and Balaram.
Is that the direct statement instead of that indirect statement?
Well, the direct statement is that he always appears in a black form in Dwapar Yuga.
Does he say like in always in Dwapara Yuga? Because it could be like previous Kalpa also, right?
Well, Gargamuni is saying he continuously appears red, white, black, and yellow. And from that, we also understand that there is a yellow avatar who is Gaur Narayan, who comes and brings Nam Sankirtan, but doesn't bring this Prema Nam Sankirtan. So that's happening in all 4 yugas.
Hmm. I see. My understanding was different.
Then you have no yuga avatar for Dwapar Yuga.
Yuga Avatara is there. I mean, that is in 11th canto. In the beginning, it talks about the 4 Yuga: Shukla, Rakta, Krishna, and Shama. Those are the Yuga Avatara.
Who is the Shama one in Dwapar Yuga if it's not Krishna?
That is a what is that? He's regularly Satya Vishavatar. He comes and spreads gives the holy name. But then when this time
That's in Kali Yuga, in Dwapar Yuga.
Dwapara Yuga is a black avatar, somebody else,
Who?
not Krishna.
No, I don't remember. You have to pull something for that.
It was because Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur comments on that, right? Verse.
Yeah, we have to look.
I can
don't
I
remember
also
reading
don't
about
remember
that.
the commentary, but I can post that one in the group. But
Do you remember what verse it is? Is it in the 5th chapter of the 11th canto?
11th, yeah, when he's talking to that, the Nama Yogendras are talking to King.
Shukla Pita Ratho Tatha Rakto, that one?
Yeah.
Shuklas Rakta Tatha Pita.
So the Nimi, Maharaj Nimi, when
Yeah.
they're talking about the
You can
Yuga.
also look at Gargamuni's statement in the 8th chapter of the 10th canto and see.
Yeah, what Acharya said.
11. In what colors and forms? 11.5.19. Okay, here's the in Satya Yuga, in Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga. In Dwapar Yuga, the Supreme Lord with a dark blue complexion wearing yellow garments is marked with Srivatsa and other distinctive ornaments and bodily features. Shama means the color and the name. 11.5.27. Sri Vishwanath only says Shama means the color and the name. He's called Shama. He has the Srivatsa. He's got a dark blue complexion. He wears yellow garments. So it's Krishna. But it's not Swayam Bhagavan Sri Krishna. It's an Amsha of Narayan, unless it's this special time where Dwapar Yuga and Treta Yuga switch. And then Dwapar Yuga comes before Kali Yuga.
Okay, but where are you reading from? Veda base, huh?
No, I'm reading from Sri Vishwanath's commentary, 11.5.27 and 11.5.28. And that's what is said about, yeah.
I will also look probably. Good point you brought it.
Yeah, he's Pita Vasa, Srivatsadivihi.
But what in 11.5.27 he says?
11.5.27, that's what I'm saying. In Dwapar Yuga, this is the translation. In
I see.
Dwapar Yuga, the Supreme Lord, with a dark blue complexion, wearing yellow garments, is marked with Srivatsa and other distinctive ornaments and bodily features. O King, in Dwapar Yuga, men who desire to know the Supreme Lord worship him in the mood of honoring a great king, following the prescriptions of both the Vedas and Pancharatra scriptures. So it's definitely not Shaktivesh. He has Srivatsa, and he has Pitavas, and he's Shama. It's the same thing we understand. And the Sri Vaishnavas say like this. They also say Krishna comes every time, but they're saying Krishna is an Amsha of Narayan. No one says that he only comes once in a while. We're the only ones who say he comes once in a while as Swayam Bhagavan. So all other Vaishnava Sampradayas also say he's coming regularly.
Because the question
Even
comes is, where is
the
that Krishna located?
Say again.
Where is that Krishna located in the spiritual world, and what does he do? Is there a Radharani there, and all this gopis there? Then there's so many questions can come, right?
No, he doesn't. He's an Amsha of Narayan, so he doesn't have. He basically gives access to Vaikuntha. So just the description is almost the same as Vishnu. He's Shama, he has Srivatsa, and he wears a yellow dhoti. He's an Amsha of Narayan, and he gives access to Vaikuntha. He doesn't come with grudge. He's worshipped like a great king.
even the shloka in the 10th canto, where I think it's somewhere in 5th or 8th
I think
chapter.
it's 8th chapter. You're saying with God.
Anshena Avatatara, something like that.
Anshena.
So, uh, so we have two explanations there, one by our acharyas and one by maybe from other acharyas, from other sampradayas. So Anshena basically means Krishna who appears along with all the Anshas within him. Anshena Saha.
Oh, this is the one right in the beginning of the 10th canto, no?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But the other sampradayas, how do they explain it is that Lord Narayana
Appears
comes
through his
through his
Amsha, who is Krishna.
and who is Krishna.
Yeah. Sri Vishwanath Das is that saying that Krishna comes with Balaram as his Amsha.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
See, Prabhu, this is Jiva Goswami's commentary, right? So he says, 11.527, speaking of the Dwapara Yuga Avatara, he indicates the special Yuga with a special appearance of Krishna. In most cases, the Dwapara Avatara is green like a parrot feather, and the Kali Yuga Avatara is Shama. And he quotes, Dwapare Shuka Pratratava Kalau Shama Parikirtitaha. In Dwapara, the Avatara is a color of a parrot feather, and in the Kali is Shama.
Hmm?
He says differently. He says this is only the special indication he's quoting this verse where a special Krishna comes instead of the regular Yuga avatar.
That's interesting.
Hmm.
Well, then we have to wonder, so yeah, what does the Sri Sampradaya then say about Krishna? Because they're not saying he only comes once in a while. They're
They
saying
don't accept Krishna as a planet there separately in spiritual world, right?
I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about him as an avatar. They're saying that he comes, that he's an avatar of Vishnu, and that he comes regularly. So that still means he needs to come in Dwapara Yuga, because they're not denying his existence, they're not denying his pastimes, but they don't say he only comes in this special time, when this happens, because that's our philosophy. They're saying
Yes.
he's a regular avatar. So
Yeah.
I'm a bit so this is confusing to me, saying that he only comes in this special time. Yeah, I don't know how to reconcile that. Also, parrot feather doesn't necessarily mean green.
But
Parrots
this,
can be all different colors. I've never heard this that he's green, that this avatar is green.
I have to see that Sanskrit if you are
Yeah.
continuing about that.
I even just recently read that there's a controversy that Lord Ram might not even be green, because there's only one statement that it says he's like fresh Durva grass, but that analogy is also used to describe Krishna in most places, and most of the writers have written that Lord Ram is just dark colored. So,
Yeah, I also heard the same. Shama.
yeah, he's described to be
Even
like Krishna's color.
even we have a samasa. We have a name of samasa, Shama Ram Samas.
Shama Rama Sama, I see.
Yeah, means Shama Staso Ramaschati. So the Rama is Shama as complexion wise.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's not.
Yeah, it's like Karmadarya, huh? It's a
Yeah, so we
Karmadarya.
have a samasa there by Jiva Goswami.
Yeah, so this seems to be something that came a little later, because it's very difficult to tack down. And it's Durvadala is the word. He's like fresh Durva grass, young Durva grass. And they're saying that means green. but we don't actually know if that means green because that is also used for Krishna in places. So similarly here, parrot feather doesn't mean green parrot feather. Parrots can be all colors. I've seen
Now, which parrot is this referred to? Cats get parrot.
So Prabhu,
Yeah.
this is the commentary from Laghu Bhagavatamrita by Bhagavidya Bhushan. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons who perform congregational chanting. This is the Krishna Varnam Trisa Krishnam, right?
Uh-huh.
So then he says, what the form of the Lord do they worship? Okay, it goes on like that. Then Garga said, Shukla Raktas Tata Pita Idanim. The yellow forms have now appeared in Krishna. From it can be understood that Krishna means black, our golden form. Anga refers to Nityananda Advaita. Okay. And the Lord has appeared with all this statement. It should be understood, however, this avatara appears only in the Kali Yuga of the 28th cycle of the Vaivashyata Manu's reign of the Svetavara Kalpa. This avatara can only be Chaitanya, since the present verse indicates him Kali. In other Kali Yugas, the Lord appears in Shama, or the collar of Shirisha leaf, and these are empowered jivas rather than the Lord himself.
Okay, that's a different topic though.
That's
Interesting.
correct. This is for the Kali Yuga.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, the same idea, but
What is the difference? What is the difference between Shama and Krishna, like color, from a color point of view?
I don't know. I always
Shama is
think them to be
dark,
synonyms.
Krishna is black.
both are blue, dark blue, or the black. Both are
Amrakosh uses them both for black. I remember that. They're both in the verse for black in Amrakosh.
Yeah, but they're interchangeably used, right, bro? The Neela is also interchangeably used for black and blue.
Yeah. So this thing you just brought, Vijay Prabhu, this works with the idea that there are only Shakti Vaishavatars in Kali Yuga, but it doesn't work with the idea that there are, because we need a Yuga avatar for
Yuga
Yuga.
avatars, okay. I have to find this. I don't know where this topic starts. I just go through this. Probably I will find something I'll post in the group also.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting.
Yeah, the Lord does not appear in Kali Yuga directly in visible form as in other yugas, as is described as Three Yuga.
Yeah, and so he's coming, Vasudeva enters into Kalki. So that makes sense. Nice. Anyway, if the Sri Sampradaya says that Narayan, Krishna is just like Narayan, we can say, well, why is Lakshmi Devi finding something in Krishna that's not in Narayan?
That's a good point.
You have to contend with that. That's how we finish the argument. So they can't do this. Because then they have to argue with the Bhagavatam, and then all they can say is, well, we don't like your book. And that's fine if they want to say that. And they're saying we don't agree with Vyasadeva, right? It's okay, I don't mind. If you don't want to agree with Vyasadeva, I don't have to speak to you so much anymore.
But one more point is like, even if we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, if someone had their own beliefs, even everyone of course believed in Vishnu Tattvas, but in different incarnations. So Mahaprabhu was very respectful, and he would encourage.
I'm only
That's
saying
like one
somebody
aspect,
were
of course.
to attack our Sampradaya and be speaking to people
yeah.
whose faith they were, because sometimes that happens. I wouldn't go out to that. The Sri Sampradaya has my utmost respect. Ramanujacharya has my utmost respect. Only if somebody is, because it's happened, people mess with people's heads. And then they lose faith in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because, actually, you can't substantiate all of this. That's the thing.
One devotee gave a very nice hint to tackle. So he was saying that, some devotees, other sampradayas, they claim Narayana or Vishnu to be the source of Krishna, right? As we have been discussing. We should simply ask them one question and they will be over. Which Vishnu is the source of Krishna? We should ask them, which Vishnu, because
I think they just say everything is Narayana only, right? Is that like they have the separate concept like Garbhodashai Vishnu only gives the rise to forms and all?
Well, they have this idea of Mahavishnu, right? They'll say everything's got. That's why he's Mahavishnu.
Actually, when they say Narayana, so it's like Adi Narayana and it's like Mahavishnu only. But
Yeah.
I don't know if they believe in the
Multiple-
Garbhodakshaya, multiple Vishnu hierarchy or something. So
Yeah. Certainly, Jiva Goswami's contributions are considered novel in Paramatma Sandarbha, bringing out all of these different Paramatma forms. For the day, it was apparently extremely controversial, and but he's giving all the shastra for it. But it wasn't, no other sampradaya had this understanding. It was very simple that just everything's coming from this Adi Narayan, like you said, and then he's the one doing everything. But there was no idea of like Krishna or Vishnu with an immanent form who is in relation to the material world, which is, the three Vishnus we know of, and then, Vishnu in the spiritual world. That wasn't really there. It's interesting.
anyhow, yes. So Lakshmi, why did Lakshmi go to Krishna then?
If
And
he
with-
simply has the qualities of Narayan, she should have been happy. And she was happy, but she was looking for something more. And then she couldn't get it. And then she couldn't even get it.
Yeah.
She's still sitting there doing austerities. It's called Leela, so no disrespect, She's an Amsha of Radharani, basically. Not an Amsha, but there's another word for it, but an expansion of Srimati Radharani. Because, that's their pastime.
Okay. So we'll end here and
Thank you very
please
much.
memorize the Pratyasta Sutras. And
Yes,
we'll
Prabhu.
continue tomorrow.
Jai
Hare
Ram.
Krishna.
Hari
Thank
Hari.
you very much.